one of my personal favorites is the MicroGro granular by Micro.
Such a robust product.
Yes.
I mean, it has got so much microbial activity, fungus in it, and not just one kind of fungus. There's thousands upon thousands of fungi in there. So that way, we're all
fun
fun.
Guys. They're having a party, dude.
That's right. It's just full of a bunch of fun guys.
Yo, what's up? It's AJ with Hippie Fertilizing on the More Than Grass podcast. We are back. And we're here with Justin from Grapon Gardens. Again, dude, thank you for coming back out.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be back again.
Yeah. So, man, year after year, it's like every year changes a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Last year was brutally hot and dry.
So hot and dry.
Yeah. But this year?
This year we're drowning.
What is it called? Is it an El Nino? An El Nino? It's one of those.
Something
maybe.
like that. Yeah.
Anyway.
I think we're technically in like a transitional period right now.
Really?
Yeah.
This is the transition. Gosh dang. So for me, usually, like, it's a lot of emphasis on grass, turf grass. Obviously, and I think you could agree, correct me if I'm wrong, we have predominantly St. Augustine, right?
Yeah, I was actually looking at a Texas A&M AgriLife report that they had published the other day.
Ooh,
and
tell me more.
So surprise, St. Augustine is the dominant grass for the southeast Texas area.
Uh-huh.
But you know what the number 2 one is?
What?
Bermuda grass, and it's on the rise.
Yes, it is. It is becoming more and more predominant in neighborhoods.
Yeah.
They have the Reserve in Clear Lake.
Mm-hmm.
It's all Bermuda. They have another neighborhood that's brand new in Friendswood.
Well, I think there's a lot of benefits for the Bermuda grass. It's not like an easy maintenance, like easy care grass. Like, it takes a little bit more TLC, but
especially for the specific look people want.
Yeah. But it's a lot more drought resistant.
And you can't get chinch bugs.
You can't get chinch bugs. Like, there's some really significant benefits. Like, definitely there's some kind of like care cost that goes into it, but you don't have to water very much. It loves the sunlight.
Which I've been kind of coming to this conclusion that, and like however you like my wording or not, St. Augustine is the lazy man's grass.
Oh, 100% is lazy man's grass. It's easy. It's everywhere.
And the more you leave it alone, the better it is.
Yeah.
Right? But the not lazy man's grass, and those who are definitely not worried about a water bill, okay? Because I hear this all the time, right? AJ, my water bill. Hey, man, it's your water bill.
That's right.
You just told me, ask me how to fix it. And one of my statements is, you need to water the grass more.
Yeah.
But we'll go more into that in a minute. The less you do to St. Augustine, kind of the better it performs.
Yeah.
Right? You
can let St. Augustine grow in peak growing season for 2 weeks. Don't even touch it. And then come back in and like basically scalp it to get it back into place. And it'll forgive you.
Shut up. He did not say that. Don't ever scalp your grass.
No,
okay?
Don't ever do this. But if you do, St. Augustine will probably let you slide by without all that big of a problem.
Like one time.
Yeah.
Okay. If you do what he said and let it grow for a few weeks.
Yeah.
If it's
not recommending to do this, but I'm just like saying like the toughness of this grass, like it's so forgiving.
It can be. And it's more forgiving the less crap that you do to it.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
The less like we talk about in our last episode, and like I talk about all the time, the less you have that treat and defeat mentality,
100%,
then it's way more forgiving, right? It bounces back way better. But if you're trying to inundate it with weed and feed,
oh gosh, no! If you're constantly beating this thing up, there is a limit of how much it can take.
Yeah,
like you can't beat it up constantly, feeding it poison all the time.
No, but beyond that, you have made the mention, and I know this just from knowing you. Your largest background, to my knowledge, is in irrigation.
Oh yeah.
Right?
It's water. Water is so freaking important.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially with our turf grasses. Like these turf grasses, there's nothing natural about these turf grasses. Man made these things to be in our yards.
Right.
Like they didn't just see this stuff growing in a field somewhere. Like, oh, that's a beautiful field. It's cut at a perfect 3 inches. Let's put that in our yards.
No. And like you said last time too, our area, and I know this from volunteering at like Armand Bayou Nature Center and stuff like that, was predominantly Gulf Coast prairie grass.
Yes.
Vastly different stuff.
And our soil here accommodates that kind of grass. Gulf Coast prairie grass, when it's grown tall naturally, it has big, deep roots, which you need in this kind of soil.
Absolutely. So going back to having such a experience in irrigation, what would you say? You've been in irrigation for like 16, 17, 18 years?
Yeah.
At least 15 years.
It something like that. It's been long enough that I know what to do and not to do.
It sounds weird because, you know, we're like in our mid 30s, right?
Yeah.
So when you say 15 years ago, it's like almost a little taboo.
Shoot, I know, right? Like I'm still 29 and holding, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. That's what the Grays say.
Exactly. Shh, don't say the gray out loud. They'll hear you.
Yeah. They'll get their friends. With that being the case, having such experience in irrigation, something I've come to learn here in the drought last year taught me this. Like, I don't want to have no variables in my lawns if I can help it.
Yeah.
Right. I want my customers to even have certain lawn care guys or lawn maintenance crews because I know they're not going to scalp the lawns.
Yeah.
And if they have an irrigation system, which a lot of people do, like, I don't even want them to be in charge of it anymore.
No, because honestly, the people who have irrigation systems, and I don't want to say this for everybody, but most people are horribly overwatering or underwatering. Like there's very few people who are actually nailing it.
Right. I agree with that 100%. Now, I find that most people are watering it very often, but still not enough.
Yeah.
So like, hey, AJ, I run my irrigation for 3 minutes every day. Like that ain't doing nothing.
Well, it's, you know, your irrigation system, for the most part, people have, you know, let's just say they have a classical controller. It just works like a clock, right? You set it, you leave it, and it just does its thing. Problem is people do not adjust their systems as the environment adjusts.
And our environment adjusts like weekly sometimes.
Yes, our environment is constantly changing. You don't water your yard with an irrigation system the same way you do the fall, the summer, and the spring.
Or if
like
we're having a wet season.
Absolutely.
You've got much more on top of it.
100%. Like right now, you shouldn't even be watering your yard. Turn that thing off.
I disagree with that.
We got so much rain. The soil's so hydrated, though.
No. But here's the thing.
It's been raining every day.
This is where we're going to have some clash. And I'm excited about this clash.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Let's talk about it.
Because what I find is that when you tell people to just turn it off, 2 weeks can go by at almost 100-degree weather.
2 weeks is too much. 100%. Okay. I'm with you.
So no, don't just turn it off. We do go through a few days at a time that it's super duper hot.
Yeah.
There's two things that happen. Life happens. Hey, we're all humans. We're going to forget if we just think like, oh, I set it off and forget it. Or maybe you forgot that you turned it off. And
this is true.
We had a week full of rain. We just had a hurricane here.
Yeah.
Right.
And we have rain predicted for the foreseeable future in the forecast right now. I'm like, I'm so tired of rain.
You make it sound so long. Just a few more days. Okay. We don't know. However, we have had a few gaps in between where it gets really hot. This is where I'm going with this. While we have all this overcast, all this rain, our average temperature is between like 75 and 80 degrees.
Yeah.
Right? That is a stark difference between when it pops back up to 95 and 100.
Oh, big time. Well, and like, let's get a little nerdy with it real quick, right?
Okay.
The evapotranspiration rate is the thing that we need to be watching, right? Because how quickly water is being removed from the soil and or the plant itself is the number one thing you got to be paying attention to. On a cloudy day, mild temperatures, you're losing very little water.
Very
On a 100-degree day, full sun, that water is being sucked out so fast.
And that's why I say be mindful of it. Don't just go thinking you can turn it off and forget it, because next thing you know, you got busy, kids got sick, you know, all these different things. What happened? And now you're calling me or him, hey, what's wrong with my lawn?
Yeah.
Well, are you watering it? Well, you told me to turn it off. Mr. Johnson, that was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. I just turn it off today and like tomorrow.
Right.
Not permanently.
Correct. So as it is true that in a lot of our areas, like the trees are fine.
Oh yeah, trees are great.
Trees are Gucci right now.
Their roots are deep. They're loving this.
Yeah. Large part, the landscapes I think are able to hold pretty good, but the turf is another ballgame.
Oh, completely.
And with this wet season, I almost hate to call them predictions, right? But let's have a couple predictions here.
Oh, I've got some predictions for you.
Okay, give me one.
All right. This season, I need people to be focused, eyes on the calendar for the fall.
Mm-hmm.
We have got the puzzle pieces in place right now, and they're continuing to be laid down, that we are going to have probably the biggest fungal explosion this fall. Right now, the only thing keeping us from having a fungus explosion currently is our temperatures are high enough that the fungus doesn't like it.
Hot freaking days.
That's right. Hot days are good for the environment because it keeps the funguses down. So we need to be having our eyes on the horizon and starting to prepare the good funguses to fight the bad.
So with that being said, just want to make some quick mentions on some stuff that we would recommend that Groupon Gardens carries over here in League City.
Yes.
One of my personal favorites is the MicroGro granular by Microbial.
It's such a robust product.
Yes.
I mean, it has got so much microbial activity, fungus in it, and not just one kind of fungus. There's thousands upon thousands of fungi in there. So that way we're all fun
guys. They're having a party, dude.
That's right. It's just full of a bunch of fun guys. But yeah, I mean, we want to fight harmful funguses with beneficial funguses, right? There's a balance.
And looking up stuff, like one that comes off the top of my head is products with, I think it's called trichoderma.
Yeah.
Right? Is usually predominant in antifungal products that use another biological way to fight it.
Yeah.
And keeping the lawn properly maintained.
Oh, yeah.
Just a really big deal. Also, I'm not the biggest fan, but your take on Microlife Brown Patch?
I mean, I think the Microlife Brown Patch, it's kind of like a 2-in-1 product. I think about it as one, it's a fertilization, and that fertilization is also compounded with aspects of what you have in the MicroGro, right? So it's not like both products in one. MicroGro is still its own product.
Yes.
But there's a lot of things in the Brown Patch that have been pulled from MicroGro that they have combined with it. So focus on the fungus.
The inoculants.
Yeah.
Because the Brown Patch has essentially like more food sources.
Right.
For the soil and for the turf to help with new growth and things like that. Whereas MicroGro granular is very much inoculant, bioinoculant dominant with less soil food. Like it's very heavy in humates.
Yeah.
Some sugars, molasses, things like that. Whereas I know Brown Patch has a lot of cornmeal, a little bit of alfalfa meal, things like that as a good natural food source. So those are two products to keep an eye out for as we get into the fall, because I know it's hot, blazing, miserable summer now, but we're on the back end of July.
Oh yeah, we're halfway through the summer.
Yeah. Oh, thank God. But it's going to happen quick. So that's one pretty much like prediction. We're going to have explosion of brown patch.
Yep.
Right on lawns.
And the brown patch, like I've done a lot of studies into brown patch, And everybody should know that brown patch does not fight fair, right? Brown patch is there to take all, win all. It is unrelenting. So the best way to fight brown patch is before you get brown patch. It is preparation for it.
So my take on it would be, I really favor, like you said, the MicroGro granular.
Yeah.
As like a pre brown patch.
Yeah.
Right. And even Humates Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my two top contenders.
Get that soil just thriving and jiving.
And when it comes to at least MicroLife products, for sure. Which would almost make me want to like venture back into, because I really hate core aeration with almost a passion. But
I'm with you.
But sometimes I'm thinking like, I have seen it be useful. And I say this with us having a predominantly St. Augustine lawn area.
Yeah.
It's not as useful as it is on, say, Zoysia and Bermuda and things like that. On those types of grasses, it is way more useful.
Yeah. Well, and I would just say, like, as a blanket argument, I think that core aeration in general, it's like a short-term results kind of thing.
It is, but let's just say, okay, because my buddy has an aeration machine, so I'm gonna like borrow it, tear up my freaking lawn, and put some inoculants down. Because if you do the right things when you do this service, then it's beneficial. So say you do a core aeration, you put down some Humates Plus or 624, or
drive that stuff deep in there.
Or, you know, a myriad of other like good, natural, healthier products, or compost top dressing. Yes, you're getting it deeper into the soil profile.
Yeah.
That's a winner. Now, if you're just doing core aeration just to do a core aeration,
no, it's
crap.
Yeah. You're not going to, your results will be mitigated so quickly. You'll get an initial balloon up of good stuff going on, but then it's not going to last. You'd be so much better off just focusing on the soil biology and getting the microbial life thriving.
Spray some molasses on that shit,
absolutely.
Baby. Know what I'm saying?
Get that soil crawling.
Yes. So my personal like prediction for fall, going back to what I've seen in other wet years, is I think we're going to have an explosion of sod webworms.
I agree. I think you've got the puzzle pieces are in place. We've just got a few more pieces that are holding them back, and it's gonna happen.
Right, and that's also gonna happen around the same time brown patch happens.
Yeah.
Now here's the kicker. I just thought of this. So sod webworms come in and they eat the top of the grass, and you can tell if you look down at the grass blades because it looks like it's chewed on. And I like to give the analogy of, say, a rabbit chewing on a carrot. Right? You see a little piece of the carrot chunks out. You will see the exact same thing on blades of St. Augustine. So it's very easy to identify, really, besides the white moths. But that means they're already like doing their thing, right? What I have found in the past personally is to leave the grass alone when you have sod webworms.
Yeah. Because
you give them more grass to eat. They're not scalping your lawn for you. And, cut another month or so later, boom, they're gone. And I'll recommend to people to throw down some Humates Plus to help encourage that recovery.
Right.
But here's a thought, okay?
Okay.
Because I don't think anything is wasted in nature, even brown patch, for whatever reason. I haven't come up with what reason it has. But say we have a nasty fungal year.
Yeah.
And then we have a sod webworm year, and they're the same. Okay. If we happen to be right. Okay. The sod webworms are eating up the grass to reduce it, to help everything breathe more. It's a thought.
So, I mean, I agree that the sod webworms, they do have a beneficial function, right? Including the fungus. You know, the brown patch fungus, as much as we dislike what it does to the way that our turfs look, right? All of the fungus is doing is breaking down the hard parts of the grass. It's eating it up, and then it's turning it into food for the soil. right?
True.
Like
And
it's all going down and
they're
turning into
literally
nutrients.
shitting out,
Yeah.
right? As the little sodwood worms are eating.
Yeah.
So that's some nutrient dense stuff right there.
You know, we don't like the way it looks, but ultimately it's part of the cycle.
Right.
You know, it's nutrients going down into the soil.
Yeah. Which would lead further into, I always try to emphasize this like feed your way through it mentality.
Yeah.
In a sense, if you kind of leave them alone, they're going to help your own little ecosystem feed its way through the problem.
Yeah.
Right. By supporting the system.
Well, you could even say the same thing, pushing through it mentality with weeds in the springtime. I get calls so much in the springtime, like, oh, my whole yard, or like early spring, like coming out of wintertime, like my yard's just full of all these weeds. I'm like, okay, send me a picture. What do you got going on? And it's just winter weeds. And I'm like, look, leave them alone. They're going to die in the heat. So don't spray crap all over your yard.
In agriculture, they call it cover crops.
Yeah.
Right. If
the heat will kill them. It's okay.
And this happened. Yes. So when we get to that point, southern lawn, St. Augustine grass, we get an explosion of sod webworms.
Yeah.
If you have an explosion of them, quit mowing the grass or mow it at the ultimate highest setting.
Oh yeah.
And even if it doesn't look even, because there will be patches that are lower from where the sod webworms went crazy, don't lower the mower to make it even.
No.
Okay. Give them food to eat. Because this is what I've found year after year after year is we've tried organic products. I've even tried chemical products. Okay. I hate to admit it, but it's true. And it almost seems useless because there are always more of those freaking moths in places that we're not treating.
Yeah.
All right. So boom, they come right back. And then we're treating, and now the lawn looks like shit. Whereas in 2021 is when we had like our sod webworm explosion.
Right.
It was another super wet year. It was a brown patch explosion as well. I had the most success by telling people to leave it alone and put down an extra dose of Humates Plus.
Yeah.
They're like, AJ, it worked. I'm like, imagine that, man. And if you really want to get crazy, just spray some Blue Dawn dish soap on everything.
Yeah.
Right? Now, right now, we're not in fall. We still got summer. So, like, I know that you have something over at Grapon Gardens to help with mosquitoes.
Man. The mosquitoes have been working overtime since the hurricane, man. Oh my gosh. Like I have always considered myself like not really much of a mosquito attractant kind of person. Like, you know, like some people just like the mosquitoes swarm them and then other people leave them alone, right? Like I've always been like leave alone. My wife, she gets swarmed and like is allergic to them and stuff. Past couple of days, holy crap, man, I've been getting carried off by the mosquitoes. Like they've been trying to like take me to the queen or something. I don't know. And but you know, fortunately at the garden center we have a product, and if y'all tuned into our most recent podcast, yep, you'll know that we are focused on organics. Murphy's Organics is a line of organic mosquito control products. So there's no DEET, no bad harmful chemicals in this stuff.
Almost wanna,
dude.
I'm not gonna do it.
It smells really strong because there's a bunch of like essential oils and stuff in here.
Ooh,
yeah.
I might spray that in my room.
It smells really good.
Yeah, it's lemon and eucalyptus.
Yeah. Dope. Honestly, so I was really skeptical of this stuff at first. Like I'm like always got my eye on the horizon trying to like look for and hunt out organic options that I can offer to our people, right?
Same.
And you know, not everything is a gem in the organic world, right?
There's a bunch of duds.
Yeah. And so like usually I'll like buy something retail from whatever third party before I'll commit to it, bringing it in for our customers. And I tried this stuff and I was like, holy crap, it freaking works, man. Like you put this stuff on you and it is like a freaking bubble suit against the mosquitoes. Like they come at you and I've literally watched them come at my leg, smell the stuff and turn around.
Hey, so with that being said, okay, we are still in summer. Chinch bugs are definitely becoming more predominant right now. I guarantee you, I'd bet you something serious. You take the same product and go squirt it in the grass where you think you have chinch bugs, that will come right back up and you will be able to identify them immediately.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Well, I do it with orange oil sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And then sometimes there's like the orange oil room sprays.
Right.
Occasionally I'll go buy one of those, and just so that I can spray it in the grass, because I'm telling you, nothing will make them bugs move faster.
No.
Than doing that. And then you can
Yeah.
point out to a customer, or I can identify it by myself instead of picking through the grass. And,
Yeah.
you know, looking all weird out there. Like, what is that guy doing in the grass, man? Like, I swear I didn't sniff the booger sugar. Okay. Like, I'm just trying to find the problem.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff, and boom, it's really quick.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty exciting. In fact, I need to go by your shop and go buy me a bottle of that stuff too, because I love to walk my dog, you know, in Tuscan Lakes over here. Or you ever been walking through Exploration Green?
Oh, yeah.
All right, it's gorgeous, but you're going to get swarmed, you know?
So we just sold a whole bunch of this stuff actually to Texas and Mexico Power. They've got all of those out of state service crews in right now. And they just came and bought a whole bunch of this stuff for those crews, because like wherever they've got them like staging that is like a mosquito infestation.
Right.
And I feel so bad for these guys. Like they're out there post hurricane getting eaten alive, and I'm,
Man,
they need something to protect them.
For just a half a moment, thank you guys
100%.
for coming out here and doing what you do, because we work outside too, and I can't even imagine what it's like to not only work outside, but having, like, you know, in a sense, your life on the line.
Yeah.
It's dangerous, scary, hot, miserable work. So thank you so much for getting out here after the hurricane and getting us back on.
Yeah. Hats off to all these linemen. I mean,
Yes.
they're the front line right now, getting everybody powered up.
And being in Houston, oh, man, I pray for some justice for the crazy stuff that has happened here recently, because we are aware of it. And I just kind of want to say out loud, that does not represent most of us.
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Most of us here in the South are the kind of people who will bring you water, food, help you out, do things. So wherever that crazy stuff is happening, I pray for justice for you.
Yep.
You know? But back on to hippie things. Okay?
Yeah. So I did bring one more product that we can talk about.
Man, we are really running out of time here.
Okay.
So I'd love to jump in on that, but I just want to, I do want to say quickly, they do have a very effective option over there at Grapon Gardens for killing weeds.
Yes.
Okay, it's the Axe product, but like I said, I apologize, Justin.
No worries.
You know, we'll jump more into that.
We'll have
the
to,
next
you
time
have to have me
here.
back.
Yeah,
Yet again.
Absolutely, dude. I love this. Thank you very much. So again, where are you at?
We are at 2060 Pecan Orchard Road here in League City. We're just off of Highway 96. If you don't already know where we're at, don't even try to stumble upon us. Hop on Google Maps, Apple Maps, whatever your flavor is, and type in Grapon Gardens. You'll find us. We'll help you. We'll keep the planet going strong, and we'll make things beautiful.
Yes. Check out hippiefertilizing.com. Give us a like, give us a share, show that you care, and hop on this SSB train. We'll see you soon. Peace.